This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want the touchdown. We not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they about to stampede.
I'm the guy who, if you don't get Bryce Young, you get CJ Stroud. You don't get CJ Stroud, you get Bryce Young. I think both those guys is a tremendous upgrade from Davis Mills and can turn around the game. But Chancellor, real quick, who do you think? I mean, you kind of said you want Bryce Young, but what do you actually think will happen?
Yeah, so to the point, as much as I want Bryce Young, VT, I will say I am, along the same lines with you as far as down the line injury concerns about Young, with his frame. So that's why I don't love the idea of giving up capital to trade up to go get him. Because there's still risk involved. It's not like there's a surefire, hey, if it was next year and it was Caleb Williams and maybe there was a non-QB needy team there, okay, cool, go get him, right? But with Bright, there's still some risk, whether it's him, whether it's CJ Stroud, whether it's Levis, whoever AR. That's why I would rather just have them sit where they are, and especially after a mess that they shouldn't have been in the first place, and then having to kind of redo that, to trade up to go get a guy that, once again, he is. I do think he'll be successful, but it's still not a guarantee. So I would, I would call the Colts bluff if they want to trade up and give up significant capital, because there'd be much more capital than the Texans would have to give up to go from 4, to 1. Then let them do that. But I'm hoping, for the Texans' sake, that it's not the case, and that Bryce Young will fall to them for 2, and maybe Chicago just stands pat.
BC, real quick, what about you? What do you think?
So I think the Colts are going to try to move up, but I don't think they'll accomplish it. I think the Bears are going to ask for more than really these quarterbacks are worth. I don't think in this particular class that these quarterbacks, all 4 of them, are worth giving up massive capital for, like a Caleb Williams would be, right? The strange part here is that I don't think this is a very strong quarterback class. However, we have 9 QB needy teams. And so I do think that there will be some trade up. I personally think that Arizona is a prime spot for a trade up, because I think Arizona, in my opinion, isn't really happy with Kyler Murray. And they potentially, if they're smart, preparing for life after Kyler, and they should be stacking up picks for later on. And so I see them being able to take a discount on someone like the Raiders, moving up to 3 to get a quarterback there. So I do think something like that could happen. Going to first overall, however, is too much. I don't think that's going to happen. And I think the Bears, especially now with the Jalen Carter news, I think the Bears will eventually just end up staying put. I think that the Texans will be able to pick whatever quarterback that they want at 2. I think it would be a mistake to trade up. I tweeted this out, and I'll stand by it, that if we trade up, it's time to look and see if Nick Caserio should still have a job, frankly, because there was a way to get that first overall pick if he really wanted to, by putting Cooks or Tunsil on the inactive list. I mean, there's a lot of ways, and I know that might be a harsh statement because he has done some good things, but the bottom line is, if we're trading up, we made a massive mistake, and it's time to see why the hell we made that mistake.
Well, to be fair to Nick Caserio in that regard, that could be out of his hands. That could be Cal saying, "Hey, look, I want him. Do whatever it takes." And then it might not be in it to him. Also, obviously, when it comes to the draft process, it is a collaborative effort. His scouts could tell him, "Hey, listen, we gotta get him." At this point, though, it is frustrating with the way that the season played out. But now you do have to move past that. And if the Texans believe Bryce Young is the guy, and everybody's on board, from not only Nick Caserio, but so is D'Amico Ryans and the scouts, I'm not putting that blame on Nick Caserio, because at the end of the day, okay, well, what will it cost, right? Because if you're saying, hey, we'll give you the 33rd pick and then maybe maybe a future 3rd or something, okay, that's, it's not ideal. You don't want to have to give up that capital, but it's not like it's, hey, a future first, for next year when the Texans still could have a top 10 pick potentially. That's a different story. Maybe if it's 12, that's different. But if it's maybe, third pick and maybe a future pick that's not first round, it might not be as harsh, especially if they really do believe, and whether it's Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, or whoever, if they believe this is our guy.
Okay. Uh-huh. Crystal, what about you?
Well, I agree everything what VT said. I don't think the Bears going to trade because of the Jalen Carter news. They should get Will Anderson, and like VT said, we're gonna either get CJ or Bryce, but most likely Bryce. And then Cap, that's his alma mater, so why not get Bryce? I just think he's a baller. I don't care about the size, the frame. I just think that he got everything I need in the quarterback: the process, the footwork. He's smart. Just like the one of the comments said, he's Curry. He's Curry from the NBA. So that's my guy. I'm gonna stick with it. And if we get him, VT, I'm coming for you.
This is Crenshaw, Briggs, and VT. We want the touchdown. We not trying to go for 3. And it's best if you get up out the street, cause them bulls out the pen and they about to stampede.